Holy shit. I have no idea where I end up. There's a good and bad for cars on 4-wheel with ride height because you try to be adventurous and yeah. Oops. Oops. So what do I have here? This is Bobby from Evo. I'll be speaking a bit soft because this is discreet recording. So this is the new Mitsubishi Outlander, and I think it's a very, very handsome car. Have a look. It's handsome, right? You know, it didn't look like this when it first came out. When it first came out, it looks rather hideous, but luckily Mitsubishi came out with this new, I don't know what do they call that, some shield thing, and it looks very good. I think it's one of the most handsome 7-seater cars out there, and its profile is rather unique. It looks like an SUV, and it's 4-wheel drive, but it's rather low. It's not the high up SUV, right? And it's very handsome. And why am I recording here? Because this car is called the Outlander, right? And it actually came from this car. This is the Airtrack Turbo, and this is the car that started the form factor. And I never knew how small this car is until this is parked next to it. See, this belongs to my friend, and it's the Airtrack Turbo. This car was so popular back then. And check out the interior. Right. So this is a crossover 4-wheel drive MPV, but it's a 5-seater MPV. MPV used to mean multi-purpose vehicle. It doesn't mean people carrier, right? And it has Mitsubishi Evolution drivetrain. So what does that mean is that the gearbox, the transmission, the 4-wheel drive system, everything came off the Mitsubishi Evo. And of course this is not Evo derived now, because if it is Evo derived, it will not pass any fuel emission regulation now, because this car is a fuel guzzler. Full tank gets you what, 280 km. And this is the new one, 2.4 liter Mivec 4-wheel drive system with some clever 4-wheel drive system, because its 4-wheel drive is rather simple or sophisticated, how you look at it. I mean, the more high-tech it is, the more simple it looks like, right? There's just one button, 4-wheel drive button. Alright, it's here. Okay, what it does is to toggle between different modes of 4-wheel drive. So I can be on 4-wheel drive Eco, 4-wheel drive automatic, which means that it will activate when it needs to. If not, it's just detached. Or I can lock the differential so that it's full-time 4-wheel. So there are 3 modes to toggle. I would guess Eco will be not very active, so only when it really needs to. If not, it will just be in 2-wheel drive to save fuel. And I've been driving it for a few days. It's rather fuel efficient. If you do not rev the hell out of this transmission, it will be very efficient. It's mated to a CVT, continuously variable transmission, and it's a direct injection 2.4 Mivec engine. And the interior is rather basic, but it's well built. Alright, it's very well built. It's everything is solid, everything is logical, everything is there where you need it to be. It has these nice magnesium shifters. Right, I'll go through the details later. So this car comes with 7 airbags. It has Bluetooth, phone connectivity, and actually that's about it, right? But I know this thing is not the best. Okay, let's not say it's not the best. It's one of the worst. Okay, but it's a tuned-in player, so you can throw it away if you don't want to, and then you can buy it. That's a luxury, I think. It's a luxury to be able to change your in-car system. So of course, it's because of cost that they have no choice. But there you go. But you get your phone connected, you get radio, you get Bluetooth stereo. All right. As in where the USB port is, it's actually inside here, but there's only one port. So yeah, not a lot of options, but it's well designed. It aids the cable coming out, and all that. So, but there's only one. Okay. As for compartments, I think you can see, there's no surprises here. There are no magic tricks here. Like some hidden compartments that open up. Nothing. It's just very straightforward. That's the interior. Okay, that is not a wood paneling, but it's some decent garnish design. Without this, it will look even more dull, right? Nowadays, most car interiors are like this, right? It's like super dull. It's just grey black. But Malaysian wanted it because it tahan dirty. That's what Malaysians wanted, right? We want cars that can tahan dirty. Magnesium pedal shifters, decently designed cluster. Where you can see different modes, and all that. Where do I toggle that? Wait. Oops. Abani. Why is this controlling that? How do I control that? Wait. Okay, I have no idea. I remember I was able to control this screen, but I forgot where it went. Anyway, there's cruise control. There's a all-round sonar for the car. There's reverse camera. There you go. Can you see it? Okay, but as I turn the steering, the lines don't correspond. So it's the basic type. It's not hooked up to the steering wheel. Alright? And surprisingly, there is something that we usually don't get. Boom boom. The sunroof. It opens and closes. Wow. I would appreciate if it's a panoramic roof instead of a sunroof. But it's nice. It's just nice to be able to open it up once in a while, just to let some light in. Okay. This is nice. Vanity mirror with lights. And this is proper quality. Alright, I mean it's plastic, but it's alright. It's proper quality. What else in the front? Actually, that's all for the front. Nothing else. But everything is well put together and it's decent. Except the fact that there are design flaws, I would say, straight away from Japan. Yes. Design flaws. Now, this is an aircon vent. There are 4 of them. These 2 on the front is actually angled, both of them angled towards the driver. And then this one is completely blocked off by the passenger, the front passenger. So what that means is that there are no direct air being blown across the car to the rear passengers. And there are no rear passenger no rear aircon vents for the passengers. So that is a bit of a drawback because during hot weather it will be a rather longer wait for air to travel to the back. Let's look at the rear seats. Now, if there is one thing that I can't fault this car, will be... Sorry for wearing slippers. I have no excuse, but sorry. It's rather spacious. But of course, why such flexibility? Because it's not just a wagon or a mid-size SUV like a CRV or CX-5. Let me show you a bit more. Let me slide the rear seats back, and two cup holders here. Basic, but these are usable. You can put your phone and all that there. Is nice. Check out the invisible rear aircon vents. Isn't it great? Yeah, it's not there. Nicely shaped, but it really looks a bit dull. But that's standard, right? I think it's the only car in this segment with... Oh my god, it's getting... Look at that, that's a power boot. Now, I really like this mechanism because it's a clever way to manufacture something. Oh my god, the car just went cuckoo with the keys out of the car. Oh my god, there you go. Don't get crazy. Wait, let me show you this. Oh! Ha ha ha. Do I need to kill myself? I left it in reverse. What an idiot. So, no. I really like this part because this is the you know, most powered boots, right? They have a power strut here and maybe two power struts, right? And then Audi is the one that uses a mechanism that is I would say, I mean, my car actually, they have the power motors inside here, and then the motor is here. So this is the part where, I mean, according to physics, is where you need the most strength, right? But the Japanese are very smart. It's normal struts, and then this is a motor that only connects one side. But what it does is that when I open the lid from outside using my hand, it won't operate. It will use the power of the struts to push it up. But when I push the button, right, then it will pull the boot down. Okay? Or if I press from inside the car, then it will open up. But if I use my hand, it wouldn't. See? So what this means is that it effectively reduces the usage cycle, which means it will last long. Okay, very clever mechanism. Now let's look at the rear seats. I'll take that out. Throw this back. Oh, see, I have to shift the two rows in front to be able to pop the two seats up. So let's do this. Alright. It is, even after it's still reasonable. Alright, not so much for the center passenger, but because the fact that the front seats are mounted slightly high, I can slot my feet underneath. So it's still very reasonable room for the middle passenger. Okay. So let's look at this. Pop this up. Very simple, but then you need to reach inside. And that's it. So let's go have a look at this third row and see if it's usable in any way. Alright? Oh, I like the fact that the tonneau cover, do you see that? The tonneau cover can be stored. A lot of cars that are 7-seaters, they don't even have tonneau covers. This one has it, and it can be stored inside. That's a very big plus point. Okay, that means you are careful, I mean, or you care for passenger safety, because it's never good to have a loose tonneau cover, which is let's see. Can I comfortably go in? Okay, the seat backs can be adjusted, but this one for me at the back now, I can't pull it back because I'm already seated at the back here. Wait, let me get this. Okay. Knee room, there is knee room, but what it doesn't have is the depth of the floor. So, no for adults. Yeah. And the fact that now that I'm seated at the back here, nope, it's not for adults. At least not for adults of my size. For smaller build, I think smaller human beings will be alright. But alright, that's, I think for kids will be okay. For adults, definitely nope. Especially my size, I am 5'11", so no bobbies at the back. Okay. And this is how it looked like after the two seats are up. Okay. Yep, I think that's about it. See ya. Signing off. Bobby from Evo. Now, I've been driving the Outlander for quite a number of days now. Let's take the first thing out of the way. It is not designed to be a sporty SUV slash MPV, 7-seater SUV. It is not designed that way. It is designed, and I have to say this, I think it is designed with the Japanese market in mind, because this car was designed from the ground up with plug-in hybrid in mind. And the way the car drives, the way it behaves, its demeanor and all that, it is very much like any other car that they make for the Japanese market. It is a simple, smooth going, smooth braking, reasonably quiet, reasonably practical, comfortable car. Yeah, I think that's the only way to put it, because it doesn't, if there is a chart that shows whether it's doing something good, extremely good, or extremely bad, it will be a chart that goes like that, a plotted line that goes like that, because it is not designed with an interior that goes, wow, that's mad. No, it's not designed with an exterior that go, wow. But actually it's quite good looking, but that's just me. I like, boxy looking cars. Some people just don't like that. Alright? And it's actually quite handsome in my opinion, the exterior design, especially with the red color. And it has all the LED daytime running lights and all that. And at first when this car was first launched in Japan, it is rather ugly because it carries with it the old family design language of Mitsubishi, which is horrible. But then someone in Mitsubishi, whoever you are, whether you understand English or not, kudos, because that guy came up with this dynamic shield design thing with that really good looking chrome strip that goes like, it just makes the front look like a Optimus Prime's helmet or something like that. I don't know whether he has a helmet or not. Alright, it looks good. The car looks good now, front and back. As for the interior, I like the seat. The seat is, in terms of the design of the seat, is nothing special, but it's wide and it's plush and it's comfortable. And the thing with Mitsubishi is this, they didn't even look at Nissan. Nissan made a seat and then they call it zero gravity seat. But actually this feels the same and it's comfortable as well. But Nissan found a marketing out of it, right? As for the cabin, it's airy, especially with the help of this. So it makes the cabin feel very airy, less claustrophobic. And visibility is very good, all round visibility, front and back, except the rear part when the two headrests are up. See, when you pop up the two headrests, they actually, I think they take out like 20% or 30% of the available visible area of the rear windscreen. But it's alright. It's alright. Now, what is the thing that is most glaring to me over the course of the past few days? At first, I tried to drive this car like a CX-5, and I hated it because, whoa, why is the steering like that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. But after a while, when you get the ideology of the engineers behind this car, you sort of understand why they do things like they do, and then you understand, right? It's mated to a CVT, it's smooth going, but how do I came to this conclusion is I was fetching my daughter, my daughter is like 2 weeks old, right? In the carrier behind, and then my son, my wife, the confinement lady and all that. And I was trying to drive as smooth as possible, to brake as smooth as possible. These are things that all daddies would do when their child or their wife are asleep, right? Just to drive slower. Even when you turn into a road, you will sort of reduce the steering angle so that there's less body roll, so that you turn smoothly, just to not wake up your family. As I was doing that, I suddenly feel like, hey, I feel like the Japanese. Japanese, when they drive cars, they put their signals and all that, they drive smoothly. So that's basically, or an Australian for that matter. And when I drive like that, I was like, hey, not bad. It's comfortable, it does everything, it's nice. So that sort of covers, how the suspension was tuned, how the car was designed, how it's meant to be used the way most people would use it anyway. Of course, when you need to sell the car, when car makers need to sell their car, they always need a punchline, right? So this car definitely lacks a punchline, because some cars are like turbo, LCD speedo clusters, things like that, or a refrigerator. This car has none of that. Those kind of shouty features that helps it move it off the showroom. So that is very unfortunate. Why? Because most people, when they buy cars, they go into showroom, they touch it a bit, look around. Even if they went through that biggest, hardest, barrier, which is to actually register themselves for the test drive, it will be very brief actually. And then maybe during the test drives, they remember some car reviews, floor the throttle or words like that, throw it in the corner, and then they do that. Then they felt disappointed with this car because it's a 2.4 liter Mivec engine with a CVT gearbox, and it doesn't do those short gratificating things well. The stuff that you feel gratifying within the short span of test drive period. But if you were to drive the car overnight, 2 nights, 3 nights, then you feel the car, you're like, hey, everything is well, it's comfortable, it's quiet, it's like a proper car. And then it's Mitsubishi, definitely it will be reliable, and it has 4-wheel drive. So that's an option, during when it's raining and all that, you have extra traction that you feel safer with, right? So these are these are essentially what makes people buy SUVs nowadays, the higher ride height and all that. It's not like this car handles bad. I've kind of felt that the body, the suspension, everything, they are okay, they are acceptable, but it's just the steering. The steering is, I would say, the steering is not accurate. The steering is not accurate at all. There is quite some free play when the car is stationary. Even when the car is moving, you sort of can feel like you can move either side about 1 inch, and the car will be alright. I know Mitsubishi create this kind of steering in Triton, so that when you go off-road, when your car goes through a sudden rock or something and then it jerks the steering, it won't break your thumb off, right? So it's softer, things like that. But on a road car like that, you might want a more connected, more direct steering that will give slightly better driving enjoyment. Now I think I can show you more instead of putting the camera on the windscreen. I was complaining about this infotainment system, right? because it's not a system per se. There's only one button to go back out, menu, and there you go, voila! It's very user friendly, right? Because there's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. That's why I say it's super user friendly. Right? So, yep. First advice: you buy this car, you throw away this thing because it's useless. Buy a better one from those branded Kenwood, Pioneer, Alpine, Sony. Yeah. So we get this sorted. Now the other thing is this: this car is actually quite good looking, spacious, reasonably priced. It has a very well known 4-wheel drive system and all that. It has sunroof and it's reasonably well equipped. Now the Achilles heel, let's throw this away because this one you can upgrade. Once you upgrade it, it's not a problem. It's just that you buy a car, it comes with some shitty tires, and then you can change your tires, right? So I won't go too hard on this, all right? Now the thing is this is a 7-seater, even though it's more like a 5+2. You can see that. So treat it as imagine a CX-5. Imagine you're a CX-5 owner or a CR-V owner, and then sometimes you look at your amazingly vast boot, and then you go like, how nice if I can flip 2 seats up. So this is the kind of car, right? Just like the X-Trail. The X-Trail also does that. Very good. Because if you have a mid-size SUV, by right, they can create 2 little tiny seats at the back there, even if it's for kids, because it gives you the added flexibility, the added practicality, all right? So this is the kind of car. Now, the problem is this: it doesn't come with second-row aircon vents. Yes, I understand that most cars have useless second-row aircon vents because they are mounted low below here. So what we call them, I call them ball blower, right? So because they do nothing but blow air at your balls. So that's what they do. Now, so this car only has air conditioning coming out from the front. Now, what's the problem with that? If you take a look at this, these 2 aircon vents are slanted towards me, the driver. So it is designed to angle itself to blow air to the driver. What about the passenger? Ta-da! These 2 solely blow at the passenger. So what that means is that there are no aircon vents that can conveniently direct air to the rear passengers. So this is the biggest problem with this car. So I do think that since you look at Mazda CX-5, Mazda 6, right? Even the Mazda 3, they updated the entire interior just to continue making the car competitive. I think this car can be competitive. This car is competitive because I prefer this ride height more than the one from the X-Trail. X-Trail is like a proper SUV, right? It's higher riding. But I kind of like this kind of lowered stance that this car has, which is reminiscent of the old Subaru Forester. Yeah, it is lower, and I like it because it gives you the ground clearance without heightening up its center of gravity. And I think Mitsubishi should, if they think that this car still have life in it in terms of production, and I think they should create a newer dashboard with proper aircon vent angles and all that, and most importantly, more cubby spaces, because there is a distinct lack of cubby spaces in this car. The door bins are good. Look at the door bins. The door bins are alright. This compartment is alright. The cup holders are alright. But here is devoid of anything over here. But this is alright. This is quite spacious. But that's the thing. This is sort of like a MPV, right? But there's only one USB port inside there. I can say that one USB port is not enough, alright, for a car to sell in this time and age, because competition is very, very stiff outside. It's no longer as easy as just designing a good looking car and give it radio, Bluetooth and all that and call a day off. No. So I think this car would do way better if they put those things in. And the base is good because the base of this car, basically, I mean, the engine, the transmission, the drivetrain, the design, the sizing of the car, everything is actually well designed. Everything is alright for what it does. Okay, yes, the dashboard is not as high quality as that of the Mazda CX-5, but there are other redeeming, factors from this car. It has a very unique proposition in terms of the design of its ride height and all that. And then if you look at the mid-size SUV segment, only two cars have 7-seaters, which is this one and the X-Trail. Now the X-Trail has some really interesting gadgetry, right? Surround view cameras and all that. But that car has only 2 airbags, whereas this one has full 7 airbags. And then if you look at this one, check this one out. This is the red color that I mentioned. It's very good looking. And look at the splitters and all that, the green color and all that. It's a very good looking car actually, right? So, wow, this one has body kits. I think they fitted it outside or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, this is my 2 cents of the car. I think I really like its design, actually. I really like its design. It's just Mitsubishi should really consider a proper facelift of this car. I know it's done a facelift now. It has already done 1 round, right? And it looks really good. But the dashboard, if you fix the dashboard, there are no complaints after that. And of course, if you can, maybe upgrade this guy here. This guy is seriously outdated. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, that's my verdict. Alright, let's find some parking. See ya!